Hi, welcome to another episode of the She podcast. Be seen, be heard, be empowered. I am really thrilled to be bringing you my guest today, Ericka Nicole, because has pivoted her business, which I find is extremely interesting and is going to be extremely supportive for many of you entrepreneurs out there who are possibly thinking of pivoting yourselves. So hi, Ericka. Thank you so much for joining me today. And I just can't wait to get into this conversation with you.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to dive into everything.
Absolutely. Before we do so, though, I'm going to give a quick introduction of you to everyone so they can get a little background, and then we'll just dive right in. So Ericka took a chance and quit her career in forensics to build her own luxury skincare company, Silkenn. She then wanted to expand the intent and meaning of Silkenn into podcasting. Behind the Silk is the community for women to confide and hear more conversations we don't hear enough about, inner beauty, which I have so many questions around this, but my first question for you, Ericka, is you pivoted and you started in forensics, which is extremely interesting to me. And I probably won't dive into that. Maybe that's for another conversation. But it's really interesting that you were in forensics in the past. What brought you? It's such an extreme pivot in my mind. So what brought you to moving from that forensics industry into moving into the skincare industry?
Yeah, it was a huge pivot. So I got into forensics. That's what I studied in undergrad, and I was also pre-med. And then I spent some time working crime scene in the toxicology lab. And there was just something about it that I wasn't feeling fulfilled. Like, I love the science, I love the work that we do and being able to help people, right? You're helping put bad people away, and you're helping exonerate innocent people, and you're helping families get closure. Like, it's a really great field, but there was just something about it that was missing. And then I was introduced to this concept of entrepreneurship. And ironically enough, my entrepreneurship journey actually started in real estate. But just being introduced to that overall just opened my mind up to the possibilities that are out there. And I realized that if I really wanted to help people, if that was really my mission to make a big impact, then I needed to make a pivot. So I was going through a really low point in that point of time because I had quit my career in forensics. I suffered a very traumatic loss in my family. I felt
Mm.
so lost and I didn't really know what my direction was. So I up and quit my job. I took 6 months to just travel. I just packed everything up, living off of my savings. Don't recommend that, not smart financial advice, but it's just what I needed to kind of refigure out where I wanted to go and the direction that I wanted to travel in. And it was perfect timing because that was 2019, and then boom, COVID hit in March. So I'm like, wow, great!
Mm.
Glad I got all the travel out of the way. But while I was navigating that season of trying to figure out what my next move would be and who I was, and the self-confidence and the self-doubt and navigating all of that, skincare was something that kept me grounded throughout the entire process. It was my self-care
Mm.
ritual that always brought me back to who I was. So I was like, if skincare could help me get back on track and reprioritize myself and gain my confidence, then I could help other people through that avenue as well.
I love that you brought in it was your self-care that stepped you into creating this new business for yourself. Because as women, many of us put that on the back burner. And I also love the self-realization that you had for yourself, that you were not happy where you were. It was not fulfilling, and you were willing to step away from it and go do something that was fulfilling to you, like travel. And I'm sure that traveling helped open doors to really get those creative juices flowing, and was the catalyst for moving you into, was the catalyst actually, because became self-aware that your self-care with your skincare was what really was lighting you up. So when you made this pivot, I'm sure, and I'm so sorry for your loss and the challenges that you went through during that time. What was one of the biggest challenges that you had when you were starting your business? Because pivoting is a challenge as it is. So when
Mhm.
you were growing your business and building it, what was one of the biggest challenges you faced?
Yeah, so when you're building something, it is your baby, it is your pride and joy, and it's something that you can't trust with a lot of people, or you feel like you can't trust with a lot of people. So, something that I really struggled with was building my team and finding the right people because myself, I'm a visionary, right? I have all of these big goals and dreams, and I can see what I want the company to be, but strategy is not my strong point, marketing is not my strong point. So, being able to find people that can see the vision and execute the vision in a way that brings what I see to life was very hard. And I went through a season of entrusting the wrong people and going down the wrong avenues and losing a lot of money and a lot of time. Silken started back, it came around in 2020. I started working on it in 2021, and now we're in 2024. And, going through failed launches and bad ad companies and wrong social management companies and bad manufacturers, and learning through the whole process, because starting a business is hard. And starting a consumer goods business when you have to have all of these logistics and manufacturing and all of these other things are also difficult as well. So being able to discern people and vet people and make sure that I'm including people who can actually see the vision onto my team was the hardest thing for me to get a grasp on.
Mm. That I love that I'm talking to you today because my daughter is really into skincare. She's 14, going to be 15 next month. And I've been telling her, this is something that maybe you should look at yourself for entrepreneurship because she loves her skincare routine. So I'm definitely going to have her listen to this podcast. So I have some questions. If for somebody that is possibly wants to start a product line, that's challenging because like you said, you
Mhm.
have to be the manufacturing. How do you, what are the steps to even start that process for somebody that has this idea or this, this this product that they want to put out there? Like, what would be their first steps?
So the biggest lesson that I have learned throughout this whole thing is we like to skip steps, right? We go right to the strategy and the social media and what we want the logo to look like. But my recommendation to everyone is to hire a brand strategist. It is the fundamentals of your business past the visuals. And it's so much more important because had I had that foundation, a lot of the mistakes that I made along the way wouldn't have happened. So having a brand strategist that understands what market are you actually trying to tap into? Is your idea even validated? Let's start there before we start pouring all this money into it. What do you want your brand values and ideologies to be? How do you want people to feel when they come across their brand? And then once you have those values and those fundamentals, then you can start working on the visuals, and then you can start working on the manufacturing and the packaging. But the strategy is what I think a lot of people miss. And that's how a lot of people start businesses and lose a lot of money because you had this idea, but maybe no one really likes your idea. And that's okay, but it's better to know that earlier on than $25,000, $50,000 down the line. So definitely start with a brand strategist and then build from there.
That's so interesting that you said that. So it's not the product. You do not start with the product. You actually
Nope,
start with the branding.
absolutely.
Okay. And then does that brand strategist start doing running some tests to see if that interest is there and if you're targeting the right market?
Yep. So then you can start doing focus groups and consumer research and seeing how big your market size is. And is this $1 million business or $1 billion business? So you're going into it with the right intentions. And you also have to know what your goals are too. Some people want to be a small business. Some people want to make a comfortable six figures and that's what they want. And then you have other people who want to have $1 million businesses and $1 billion businesses and raise venture capital and sell off portions. And so you also have to know where on the spectrum you lie so that you're building your business according to your goals. And that's what
Mm.
the brand strategist will also help you understand.
Wow, amazing. I would have never thought that. I would have thought you'd put it into the product first. So that would have been a
Hmm.
big mistake. And I'm sure other people that are listening thought the same thing. So thank you for that clarity. Um, Tell us about your products. Can you tell us about your line? So if somebody's interested in reaching out and or purchasing, they know what you have.
Absolutely. So yeah, Silkenn is an urban skincare brand, and basically we really target urban dwellers and protect their skin from environmental stressors. That was something I learned a lot about while traveling when I was on my sabbatical, is what I call it. My skin behaves so differently in different climates and areas. So how my skin was in New York was not how it was in Vegas in the dry heat, or how it was in the Caribbean with the humidity. So really catering to urban dwellers because our skin goes through a lot, from pollution to smog and UV rays and all the blue lights living in big cities. So we really cater our products to that demographic. So people who live in urban cities, frequent travelers, people of that nature. We have a lot of proprietary blends. We're packed with antioxidants, and we really focus on creating a healthy microbiome for the skin. That is one of our
Wow.
biggest things because that's literally the foundation of your skin. If your microbiome is off, everything else that stems from that, the hyperpigmentation, the acne, the discoloration, the eczema, all of those things stem from having a healthy microbiome. So that's really where we specialize.
Okay. And where can we find you?
So we're actually pre-launch. We are launching in the next 6 months. So I definitely recommend everyone sign up to our waiting list. But we have a lot of big buzz coming, and I'm very excited about the launch coming this summer.
Oh, I'm excited for you as well. Let's talk about your podcast because that's exciting too. You have conversations around talking about inner beauty. So can you share more about your podcast and how we can listen?
Absolutely, yeah. So Silken is definitely the outer beauty conversation, right? You look good, you feel good, and I'm all here for that, absolutely.
Mhm.
But I wanted to take it a step further and have some more deep conversations because you can use as much skincare, self-care, whatever you want on the external, but if the things on the internal aren't aligned or aren't doing well, it's going to show itself forward. So Behind the Silk is the name of the podcast, and it was really a way not only for me to document my self-care journey, but a way to for us to have open conversation about these things. The more that you speak to people, and I've connected with my audience, a lot of us seem to be going through the same struggles in like just different ways. So it was great to create a platform where we can talk and share about our self-care journeys and different self-care practices, and we can learn and we can grow together in a way in a space that felt safe. And that was the biggest thing for the podcast, really continuing that conversation.
I love that because I think it's very important as women, they have a community that we can feel safe in and go to have the conversations that might be a little uncomfortable or that we can't talk to with our immediate, group of friends or family. So I love that you're doing that. Where can we find your podcast?
Yep, Behind the Silk is available on all podcast platforms, and we're on all social media platforms at Behind the Silk Pod.
Okay, awesome. And you have a free gift for our listeners, correct? So how could we grab that and what is that?
So we do have a self-care guide that is available on behindthesilk.com. You can just type that in and you'll get a free self-care guide. It's something that I've curated to really help people navigate their self-care journey. And we go through the 6 pillars of self-care. We have some affirmations in there, some worksheets, everything that you could need to create a self-care routine that's customized to you and where you currently are and what your future goals are 3 to 6 months out. That is what that guide will help you with. And it's a great resource that I swear by.
It sounds amazing. And 6 pillars, I can't wait. I'm going to grab it myself. So make sure that you go grab Ericka's free guide for yourself. And Ericka, besides your skincare, what is another form of self-care that you do for yourself
Yeah,
that you
so
like to do?
I've been trying to get into working out. I've been trying to be the gym girl. I've been trying that for a while, but now long walks have really been my thing. So just going for a walk, putting on a podcast, listening to music and just kind of vibing out. Long walks have been a thing for me.
Yeah, I love that because I started doing the walking too because the gym just isn't happening with my schedule right now. That's one of my goals for next month is to actually hire a trainer to come in and help me. We'll
Yep,
see if that happens next month. But in the meantime, the walks is great too because we can slip in our AirPods. I can listen to an audiobook or a podcast and get my walk in. So I love that you said that because I'm right on board with that.
absolutely.
So where do we find you if somebody wants to connect with you and reach out to you? Besides getting on the waiting list, we're going to have that information. So all this information that Ericka's sharing, we're also going to have in the show notes. So if you're listening, make sure you check out the show notes and go check out where you can find Ericka, grab her free guide, go listen to her podcast, and also follow her and get on that waiting list. But where can we find you, Ericka?
Yeah, so I'm everywhere on social media at the Ericka Nicole. Erica is spelled Ericka because I'm extra special. And again, you have the podcast, and Silkenn is Silkenn with 2 N's because it's also extra special. And that's where we can be found online.
Yes, you are extra special, and I'm really excited to have you here, Ericka. I think it's amazing that you are starting this launch and this product line in the skincare plate space. So if when you are launching in June, if there's anything I can do to support you, please let me know. I'm happy to have you come back on or share on my social media and to my list and everything because I think it's really important that we're supporting other women entrepreneurs. And I speak with a lot of service entrepreneurs, people in the service space, like coaches, consultants, realtors, that type of thing. You're one of my first women that I'm speaking to in the product line space. So
Oh,
I'm
wow.
super proud of you and excited for you. And I can't wait I'm excited to watch you grow and flourish and also like, expand your podcast as well. And I'm definitely going to be sharing you and this session and your products and have my daughter be following you too, because I think you're an inspiration to many young girls. So thank you for shining your light and putting yourself out there and doing the scary thing anyway.
Thank you so much for sharing your platform with me. This is amazing. And you're doing big things as well. And I just can't wait to follow your journey as well.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Do you have a something? I love to end the calls with this question because we can see you on social, we can see what you're doing, but there's like, what is there something that we wouldn't normally know about you, like a fun fact that you can share with us that we wouldn't normally know if we're just following you on social?
Yeah, so I don't really share this because some people think it's a little nerdy, but I play the clarinet. That was actually one of the
Ah,
first instruments that I learned how to play back when I was in elementary school, and I still have it and I still give it a blow every from time to time. So I'm a clarinet band girl.
that's amazing. Oh, I would have never guessed that about you either. So that's fantastic. That is a fun fact. Oh, that's amazing. One day maybe we'll have you on and play. Hey, we'll see.
No, we
Maybe.
won't.
No, no. Okay, you heard it here. That's a no. That's a no. Ericka said no to that. So I'll respect her no. But thank you for sharing that fun fact about you. So thank you, Ericka, so much for being here. Everybody listening, make sure that you go check out Ericka, follow her, connect with her, listen to her podcast, download it, leave her a review, and go connect with her and join her community and get on that waiting list. If this product is for you, go check her out, go follow her, go support her, and get on that waiting list so you are the first to know about when her products are launching in June, because we'll be following her as well. Thank you again, Ericka, for joining me today. I'm so excited to put this out there and share. You're very inspiring, just to let you know, like I mean it when I
Oh,
say I'm very excited to have you on today, because I think what you're doing is important. And I think my daughter, just knowing that she and my son too, like you're an inspiration for these young kids coming up, and for any woman who has a calling on her heart to go after it, to really step out of the comfort zone of not staying stuck in something just because that's what their first original path was.
hmm.
You actually, that was your path. That's what you went to school with. And you could have stayed on that journey because that was what you were quote unquote supposed to do. Right. But you took the chance and you followed your heart, and you're making it happen. So thank you for being that
Absolutely.
inspiration to many.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that's the one thing I can always say. You have to bet on yourself because if you don't, then who will?
Nobody else will. So
Hmm.
thank you, Ericka. Thank you for all of you that are listening. Welcome. We'll come see us back on the next episode of the Be She podcast. In the meantime, be like Ericka. Go be seen, be heard, and empowered.